Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Dave Smith coming to you with another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. I want to talk about homelessness, specifically the Joe Rodota Trail here in Santa Rosa. It's made national news lately. It's just out of control. Anyway, I've got a little video segment. Just want to go to show a couple clips, then we'll come back and comment on what we're looking at. Off Joe Rodota Trail in Santa Rosa, California, and we are approaching the west end of it. There's somebody's lean-to there. Zoom in a little, and here it begins. There's one. Another one looks like it's been destroyed, and here we go. There's a bunch. That guy's crazy walking through there. Look at all these, man. Unbelievable. Just shanty town. Full on shanty town. Can't even count how many there are, but I'm thinking well over 100. And here we go. It's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Wow. At least the city put some porta potties over there. Oh my God. So there's some porta potties there. So there's about 6 porta potties there on that whole bike path. But oh my God, talk about insanity. So people keep complaining about the homeless over here, but if they're not there, where do they go? Where? Not in your backyard. Then where? So the population on Joe Rodota Trail swells to an estimated 450 people. I counted like 200 camps, but I was going by in a car, so it's a very rough estimate. And you can't even see all of them. As a matter of fact, there's a huge stretch of the trail that, now that I think about it, that's not even visible from the road I was on. So that's where they probably get the 450. I probably only saw half of the tents. Anyway, so it peaks, comes to a head. City council's freaking out, getting phone calls. Right on the other side of the trail, there's a new housing development that's just in the final phases of construction. So I'm sure those developers are leaning on City Hall going, hey man, we need to sell these houses, and this homeless camp on the other side of the wall is not helping our cause. I've heard cases of like pee bottles being thrown over the fence into yards, and all kinds of stuff like that. Hypodermic needles, like all kinds of nastiness. So now the city scrambles. City, county, and state governments are scrambling, designating funds. Santa Rosa, I believe, dedicated $70 million. But they're scrambling, trying to put Band-Aids on there. We're going to buy 3 houses. One of the houses was $1 million, $999,000 for a 3-bedroom house. Like, what? Are you kidding me? So there's no solutions. Are you kidding me? Take a field and build a shit ton of tiny houses. Man, so the solutions are not fast coming. So this is very frustrating to see the bureaucratic tie up and just kind of the band-aid thrown on this thing. So when the Joe Rodota Trail thing really blew up was when this guy went on the Nextdoor app and showed a video. He posted a video on Nextdoor of him riding down the bike path and encountering hundreds of homeless camps. And then he stopped and filmed this guy shooting up in the middle of daylight. And then he approached the news, and NBC took his footage and broadcast it, and it went viral. Went nationwide, was all over all social media. All of a sudden, boom, it's, now the city council's getting all these calls, and they got to do something, right? The county, the city, the state even. Gavin Newsom, this led to the governor declaring $750 million towards an emergency fund. So they're designating all this money, but what we're looking at is anyway, designating money, but no solutions so far. So anyway, we'll go to some more footage, and then I'll come back and we'll continue the conversation. So after the guy's video goes viral on the Nextdoor app, after he brings it to NBC, then it goes viral on all social media, all across the country on the lamestream media through cable and all that. Then, of course, the city decides they got to do a crackdown, so they offer, a little Band-Aid solution, and then they mandate that they're going to close down the trail and do a sweep. So they put fences all along the trail, and then they give it all the people there a date of, you got to be out by this time or we're going to arrest you. Looks like they cleared the trail out. Just a bunch of garbage now. Quick interjection. I don't know if you could see in these videos, sorry about the quality, but I was driving and videoing at the same time, keeping my eye on the road, obviously, so the quality of the video lacked a little bit. But you can see red containers in the video. Those are huge biohazard containers, the size of rolling garbage cans, that they're using to pick up God knows what. Fecal matter, syringes, bottles of urine. Blah! Anyway, just wanted to point that out, give a little clarity on the video there. Greetings, Earthlings. This is Dave Smith and Another Thing with Dave, coming at you with another little podcast episode here. So, met this dude, the Joe Rodota Trail, the homeless, yada yada yada. I'm sure you've heard of it. Anyway, I met this dude earlier today when I was going around taking pictures of the abandoned campsites because the police did a sweep of the area. So I was going by taking pictures. I met this guy John that's still living. They kicked him off of the trail, and he has until tomorrow to go somewhere else, but there's nowhere to go. But tomorrow they'll come and arrest him if he's not gone. Nice guy. So I threw together just a little care package, nothing major, just 5-gallon thing of apples, 5-pound bag of apples, a couple things of bread here, and then I made some tuna fish sandwiches, 3 tuna fish sandwiches, We got a bunch of paper towels there because paper towels are probably valuable. But anyway, just gonna go bring this dude some food and rap with him a little bit and see, what his story is and how John ended up on the Joe Rodota Trail and what they're telling him his options are as far as where he can go now. So I'll tune back in with more on this because this is definitely ongoing. So a few days ago they did a sweep of the Joe Rodota Trail, kicked everybody out. You can see there's a security car right there, so they've got sheriffs and security and everything, so if anybody shows up they call security. So talk about a band-aid. So the day after the sweep, I went down to the Joe Rodota Trail and I talked to this guy that I saw packing up all of his stuff, this homeless dude, John, that I met. And then I went, put together a little care package of food, brought that down to him. And then I just rapped with him and asked him some questions, like, how did you end up on the Joe Rodota Trail? Like, what led you here? And, kind of a story you could imagine being repeated hundreds of times. He was a construction worker dude, had an injury, got addicted to opiates, got busted with illegal street drugs after his prescription ran out, and then boom, he's in the system, misses a court date, warrants, yada, 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 becomes homeless. And then he's been moved from location to location to location all around the city. And a couple times he said there's one squad of cops where if they approach, you're either going to jail or they're taking all your possessions. So he's lost all his possessions a bunch of times. So that doesn't help anything. But, just kind of puts a human face on the problem. Like, this could be anybody. He says to me, he's like, I used to be a productive member of society. I'm like, damn, what are you going to do now? He's like, well, I guess I'll head on down the road and look for the first open field that, doesn't look that bad. Looks like it could be shady where I could get by for up to a week because I hate having to move every 2 days if somebody complains. And then I ask him, well, how was it being here on the trail? And he says, well, me and my girlfriend were among those and our neighbors. We were the first 4 people to arrive on the trail. And before the influx, and he said it was nice to have, a little bit of community around and not just be totally solo, having to always be on edge. But then he said, after they were there about a week, the rats figured out that they were there and had food. And in the middle of the night, a swarm of like 20 rats came charging his tent and were trying to leap in his tent, and he was kicking rats away like, wah! Oh my God, it totally freaked me out. I'm like, oh God. But anyway, yeah, so it's a multifaceted, crazy problem, no easy solution, but where there's a will, there's a way, and we got to do something, man. So here you can see people have just located down over here because there's nowhere else to go. So, got to provide an opportunity, an option. So the city, county, and state governments all are struggling for a solution to this. They're throwing tons of money at the problem, but we're not seeing any real concrete solution to the problem. No long-term program. You can put these people in a house, but is that really going to change the situation? What led to most of these people being on the street? Is it mental illness? Well, we need to address our mental health system, or lack thereof, nationwide. Thank you, Ronald Reagan, for setting all the mental patients free in the 80s. But we've done nothing to combat that, and now it's come to a head. Poor veterans are a problem, or a part of that. Then you've got the drug addicted people. So what are you going to do there? We need to offer treatment. Otherwise, putting a roof over their heads, not going to do anything. What comes to mind is that quote, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. So we need to teach these people to fish. We need to provide for the ones that can, the ones that are mentally incapable. We should have a safety net. In the richest state, in the richest country in the world, we should have a safety net for people like that, in my mind. For the people that can help themselves, we need to provide a pathway out. So job training, skills training, computer classes, how to fill out a job application, balance a checkbook, basic life skills training. And then, what about an apprenticeship program or something tied to the city and county, so that we can offer people non-skilled labor jobs that accomplish a needed goal, sweeping the streets, cleaning the freeways, whatever, and pay these people some money. So, give people a pathway out, not just a Band-Aid, right? So anyway, huge problem. And, it goes even deeper. So we need a nationwide solution. Otherwise, if it's a county-wide solution here in Sonoma County, homeless people from California are going to flock here. If it's a California-only solution, homeless from all over the country are going to flock to California. As I said in a different podcast, I used to live in San Francisco for 20 years, and I talked with a 20-year veteran of the force there, and he was saying that he knew a number of states where they would, when they arrested homeless people, they would offer them two choices. Either go to jail, or we'll give you a one-way bus ticket to San Francisco. So how many of these people have been thrown away from other states, sent to California, where, we have better social programs, the weather's warmer, so it's easier to survive in that. But a flip side to that is then those governments, like one of the states this guy mentioned was Texas. So then Texas can point their finger at California and go, oh, look at those liberal Democrats. Look how that's working out for the state of California with all their homeless. But how many of these homeless people are actually from California? Nobody's doing a survey on that. And I would be really interested to know, because I bet they're coming from all over to take advantage of the social programs we have. You got food stamps, Medi-Cal, and you can actually get cash to live on. So you can get cash, free food, and free medical. So I know they don't have that in a lot of other states. So anyway, it's a big convoluted problem. It's going to take a concentrated effort, with multifacets, like I'm talking about. Housing, job and skills training programs, a pathway out, but you just give somebody a home, and that's just a Band-Aid. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. This has been Dave with And Another Thing with Dave. You can now catch me on Anchor.fm, as well as on YouTube and on Spotify, and hopefully soon on iTunes and a couple other outlets. Anyway, peace out, stay vigilant, and keep fighting.